Today, 17 #1 hitmakers, Rascal Flats.
Y'all took little old me out on the road.
Twice.
A Pickler and Ben challenge.
Come on, pick a little, let's get some.
Charades. Then she's a culinary rock star.
Watching your show inspired me.
Salt, fat, acid, heat chef, SAMIN NOSRAT.
Just this shiny, delicious, fresh, springy thing.
Plus,
You recently went to Africa with some friends. Did you have fun?
Oh, did I?
Empire actress Taronda Jones is living her best life.
To season
Cheers.
2.
Oh, gosh.
Welcome. Thank you
Hello.
very much.
How we doing?
Thank you so much. Welcome to Pickler and Ben. Appreciate it. All right, let's get into it. We're starting this show by talking about teachers. You've had some really inspirational teachers in your life, right?
And we had one of my teachers, Miss Huffman, on
Right.
last season, my drama teacher.
So sweet. She was
She was
awesome.
amazing,
Yeah.
amazing.
So we're kind of like homaging teachers a little bit.
Our teachers don't get enough credit.
Right, exactly.
They don't get enough credit.
they're-
They're raising your children during the day,
Yes,
pretty much.
yes, and molding their minds. I would like to take this opportunity to apologize to my teachers. Seriously, Miss Primus, Miss Estante, Miss Hingis, I'm sorry I threatened to shave your dog. I didn't mean it. I did not mean it. You're wonderful people, and they work so hard. And you think they have like 25 of me, and you
Well,
get used to
I have to apologize to all of my teachers. I tend to get in trouble for talking too much.
No, stop it right now.
Shocker, surprise.
I could not imagine. I would not be able to imagine being next to you in high school and just hearing, Ben, why is the J silent in jalapeno? Why put a J there when you don't even pronounce the J? I'm like, I'm just trying to take this test, Kelly. Stop talking. Can you imagine us in high
What's the
school?
answer to number 2? Yeah.
Nothing would get done.
No,
You and I would have
not at
flunked
all.
in 2 seconds. We would have been talking the entire. It would have been ridiculous.
Kicked out.
Well, our first guest has been an educator for 42 years, and like many teachers, she's an unsung hero.
Her name is Ms. Barbara Talley, and in addition to her work as a science teacher, she oversees the food pantry program at Donaldson Middle School here in Tennessee.
Ms. Barbara told us her students mean the world to her, and when she and her colleague found out many of them were going hungry over the weekends, they knew they had to do something.
Y'all, please welcome Ms. Barbara Talley.
Welcome. Are you good on this chair?
I can get up for
You got it. I know you got it. I'm just.
Ooh, I love those shoes.
And I love yours.
Well, thank you so much.
Tell us about the food pantry.
Well, it started in one of my colleagues by the name of Tina Noel started as a result of witnessing one of her young men who was saddened because he was going home on the weekend and wouldn't have access to food. So she took it upon herself to purchase food for this young man. And the pantry started out in her classroom, of course. And from the classroom, after she transferred to a high school, I was asked by my principal to spearhead the food pantry.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, it's wild because I don't think people realize how many kids depend on that one meal at school as their only meal throughout the day. You know, you never know what these kids are going home to.
Yes.
So what y'all are doing is amazing work.
Yeah.
Amazing
Thank
work.
you. Thank you.
And I'm sure there's a big difference this pantry's making for the kids in the community, right?
Oh, my goodness, yes. Yes, and you know, us being teachers and them being in that educational environment, who can learn when their stomachs are empty?
Right.
So we try to provide that need so that we can move on with their learning.
Right.
And you pay for some of this food. You pay for it out of your own pocket.
When the supply runs low, yes, it has to go on.
Absolutely.
Well, we have some good news
You're
for
a
you.
good woman.
Our friends at Sprouts Farmers Market heard about your program, and they're giving you $1,000 gift card to shop for healthy food for your kids.
Miss Barbara, will this help stock the pantry?
Oh, God bless you. No, it will. Many souls, many mouths. Oh, my goodness. We can stretch that.
And just so people know, if they want to help donate, you're open to donations, right? You talked about it a little before.
Of course. We've had the community churches and some families who just fix up bags of stuff and just donate it to the pantry. And you have no idea.
Okay.
None. And when you see the looks on these children's faces, how their needs are being met.
Absolutely.
Donaldson Middle School, is
Absolutely.
right?
Middle School.
People want to get
Get
involved.
you. Exactly.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ms. Barbara. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you for what you do.
having
Appreciate it. Thank you. And a big thanks to Sprouts, with stores from coast to coast offering fresh, natural, and organic food at great prices.
All right. We've got a jam-packed hour, so let's get to it.
She's a superstar in the food world, a New York Times best-selling author, and the star and force behind the uber-popular Netflix series Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat. Take a look.
I really want to just have that one.
Try it.
Okay.
Be brave.
I'm brave.
I'll follow you.
Do you think I'll cry?
If you cry, it's good.
Oh my God. What's this spicy? It's so spicy.
I told you. Drink some milk.
SAMIN NOSRAT is in the house.
Then she's a rapper, actress, and noted scene stealer from the Fox series Empire. Actress Taronda Jones is here to talk about what's new in her life and how she's coping with her overnight stardom. But first, they've recorded 17 #1 hit songs, sold more than 27 million albums, and more than 10 million concert tickets.
They're about to hit the road on their summer playlist tour. Please welcome Rascal Flatts, Gary LaVox, Jay DeMarcus, and Duran Rooney. God, nice to meet you guys.
Good to see you, sir.
Very exciting stuff. So they've heard of you. Just
Who
nice.
is it?
Just nice.
Y'all been together for like 20 years, more than.
Gosh, that's crazy.
What's the trick? Do you guys? Is there like a secret sauce to this whole thing?
Gary and I are cousins, and our
Right.
moms have threatened us to never break up. And if we do, I think they could still whip us. I literally
Right.
do.
I think that, you know, it truly is a brotherhood. You know, we were kind of married to each other before we got married to our wives. And
Was that
we're doing-
difficult for the wives to be like, hey, listen, this is like a second marriage almost, because I'm married to the band, but you also, there has to be like a balance there. Was that hard for the wives to get used to?
I think it takes a very special woman to be married to somebody that does what we do for a living. And we definitely have 3 of the best you could ever hope
Amazing
for.
women.
Absolutely.
Yes. And kids, and babies, yeah. Now, I know the answer to this. I know it's hard to leave your families when you're out on the road, because y'all tour a lot. Y'all are always working. How do y'all find that balance with everyone, with family and the road?
It's a great question. I think through the years, we've been really fortunate to really weed our schedule down.
Uh-huh.
So we have really control of our schedule, which is like the
Right.
ultimate thing to get as an artist. And when we do about 40 shows a year through the summertime, May through into September. And so we're usually home. When we're on tour, we're usually home Monday through Wednesday.
Yes.
And then weekend warriors.
Yeah.
When you guys have had so many hit songs, when you guys are writing hits, well, when it eventually becomes a hit song, do you have the instincts that like, this is it, baby? And have you ever been like, this is it, baby, and just a song goes,
yeah, both.
Yep.
I think both ways, yeah.
Yeah.
Both. You've been around 20 years. Both of those things happen to you.
Yeah.
You have a gut that you follow, though. Your instincts kind of get you to where you are to a certain point. So we definitely listen to music and we go, we feel really great about that one. And if it touches us, hopefully other people will feel that same connection.
Right.
And over the years, you just kind of know what you do well. You learn what you don't do well, and you try to stay away from that, and you try to do what you do well.
Let's talk about your new song. New
Back to
single.
life.
Yeah, Back to Life.
Wow.
It's good. Shay Mooney wrote it from Dan and Shay, and
Yeah.
it's a love song about, you know, it's just how the woman in your life is just kind of the anchor, and no matter the stress and the issues that go on in life and all that kind of stuff, she's the one that brings you back to life and puts life in perspective and that kind of thing. So, and it was a different kind of groove, and it's, you know, it's a country song.
So you guys, do you like to collaborate? Do you look for these new artists to kind of collaborate with, or old artists and just say, like, let's do something with this person or anything like that?
Well, Shay is one of those incredibly gifted singers that is so really focused on Gary. He has a real knack for writing the kinds of melodies that Gary gravitates toward. So it's a real natural thing for us to hear a song that he's written with his vocal on it and go, hey, that sounds like us.
Yeah. No, y'all have always been very supportive of new artists coming into this format. I mean, y'all took little old me out on the road with you.
Twice.
Twice, yes, twice. And so thank y'all. Thank y'all for
Absolutely.
support, yeah. Because not everybody has that when they come to this town. You know?
Yeah.
You know, we had some amazing artists that were nice to us
Yeah.
early on, and Brooks and Dunn and Jody Messina
Yeah.
put us on tour right out of the gate, and Kenny Chesney pretty quickly. And so it's really cool to be able to get back and to help out younger, aspiring artists.
Well, you got to pay it forward. I mean, you know,
Definitely.
somebody did it for us, and we need to do it for people coming up behind us. And it's always a wonderful thrill to see somebody like Dan and Shay rise the way that they've risen, and they deserve it so much. And we love those guys. And young talent is what we need. If we're
Taylor
not-
Swift.
That's right.
Yeah, we put Taylor on our first tour, and Blake Shelton, and Jason Aldean, and Luke, and all
Conway Twitty
Yeah.
took him out when he was
He
getting
doesn't know
started.
who that is.
No idea.
I'm teaching.
Early
I thought
days.
you said Kanye West just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And y'all are,
Kanye
about,
Westy.
y'all are about to go out on tour again, yeah?
Yeah.
May 16th, we kick it off, the playlist tour in Cincinnati.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you keep it, you guys, I mean,
And it's the killer show.
10 million tickets sold. How do you guys keep your concert fresh and new and different? How do you push that envelope more and more?
It gets tougher year by year, but you know, we've always came in with a mindset that we just wanted to put on a show that we wanted to go see, you know? But we miss Kellie being on the road. You're great at television, but you are such a phenomenal singer and entertainer that it, yeah, we miss having you out there. Yep.
Well, Rascal Flatts is sticking around.
Y'all don't go anywhere. Thank you. Two words. Belly, tummy. Belly flop. We're back with Rascal Flatts, and they're about to hit the road on their summer playlist tour.
We thought we'd have some fun and play a little summer charades, but before we do that, Jay, we hear you have a special talent of doing a Robert De Niro impersonation. Will you grace us? Give us Bobby. Come on!
Tell you something right now, Ben.
Good.
This one here, and you got a gift.
You look good. Very nice. Oh my God. Robert De Niro, bless his heart, I just feel bad at every impersonation as if he was constipated, just constantly. Or just sour, just eating something sour.
I did that to him once. He was not amused. I said,
All
how
right.
you doing, Bobby? He said, not so good, kid.
All right, Jay and Jodon will be one team, and they'll have to try and beat Gary and me.
Come on!
Yeah, Ben's gonna rap and be the scorekeeper.
All right, players, it's pretty simple. When it's your turn, you reach into our beach ball bowl and pull out a clue. You have to act out your clue to your team out without speaking. You have 30 seconds to guess. It sounds a lot like charades because it is, in fact, charades. Kellie, you're first. Go ahead. You may pick from the beach ball bowl here. That's a bowl, not a beach ball. I know it's an illusion.
My arm's short.
Don't show
And you
your...
can't talk, right? Okay.
Is this
I mean, I
anything
can-
in the world?
Yeah, I think it's summer-related items.
Summer-related.
Summer-related.
items.
All
Yeah.
right.
Oh, gosh.
I can, I'll peek over your shoulder. Oh, you can do this.
Okay.
You know this.
Huh.
You know that.
And I can't talk.
Are you ready? No
Okay.
talking. Set. Go.
Okay.
And time's
Well,
up.
it's one word, but it's kind of a compound.
No talking. Kenny Chesney.
Summer.
So, spread. Fish. Nemo. Fish.
Oh, interesting.
Fish sandwich.
Oh, God. I better start drinking.
Fish. Fish going to the bathroom.
I was trying to be like a lady.
We get to steal
It's the jelly.
Do you think you know the answer?
tuna fish sandwich.
No,
It was
but that's...
the jellyfish.
jellyfish.
This was the
I got
jelly.
you, I
Jelly.
And then this was the fish, and then I was like, how do I pee like a lady? If you get stung by a jellyfish, they tell you that you're supposed to pee
Oh,
on
my
yourself.
God. That is the most obscure reference in history.
I don't know.
I was on the tuna fish track, but that makes no sense in summer. I don't know.
Bad memories.
I should have known.
Jay, Joe Don, you guys are
That's
next. You like to pick
completely
on the
right.
blowfish?
Jay's up. Come on.
Okay.
Are you ready? Let me see.
All right.
I'm horrible at this game.
Oh, this is easy. This is a shoe-in. Are you ready?
Bring it.
Here we go.
De
Start
Niro.
the clock and go.
Oh, fishing.
There it is.
Why can't I pull that
You got a gift.
It wasn't jellyfish.
You were good. You were good.
one? Okay.
Got a gift.
Yours is going to be like quantum physics or something. Here, go
Oh my
ahead.
God.
Come on over,
Okay.
Gary.
Good
You're
luck,
up.
G.
You're up.
Okay.
Gary, do it.
That should have been yours.
This is
I
it.
know.
Fishing. Oh, God.
get
That
so
was
ridiculous.
an easy one.
Okay.
You guys got
Okay.
lucky.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. You want to
Okay.
take a moment? You want to take a moment?
I'm good.
Oh, this is good.
I think.
This is good.
Okay.
Kelly loves
we get
this. Kelly loves
This is
this.
it.
Okay, yeah,
Right here.
ready?
2 words. You, a belly, tummy, belly flop.
Yes! Yes!
That's good.
Right on! Nice work. Score is
doing good.
1-1 right now.
All right, let's see.
He's so excited his jeans ripped. Yeah.
Bicep. Sunburn. Sunburn. Suntan lines.
Yes, it is! My gosh. Are you sure you're not cousins? Because I feel like there's a vibe. There's a vibe.
Oh, yes.
This is the last round. Last round, everybody.
Wow.
Last round.
This double the point.
Okay, we'll triple the points. Triple point score here.
Okay.
Triple points. You can pull ahead
Are
here.
we ready?
2 words. Head. Head cold. Head, mind, thought. Sun, hair.
Drink something.
Sun, drunk. Headache. Headache. Brain freeze.
That is it!
Drink
I
something.
was like, I know
I had to, I'm
got one
sorry.
in there somewhere.
Oh.
Way to let us down easy.
All righty.
Triple
Oh.
points.
Get
Triple
in my
points.
position to receive this again.
Go for it.
Pulling up. Gosh. Ticks?
That is correct!
Oh my
Good
God.
job, guys! And with 285,000 points, you guys are the winner right here. Jay and Jodan, thank you guys very much. You win nothing.
Thank you, Jay, Jodan, and Gary. To find out more about Rascal Flatts Summer Playlist Tour, head on over to picklerandben.com.
Coming up, she's the star of the Netflix hit series Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat. SAMIN NOSRAT is here with an eye-opening culinary lesson you never knew you needed.
You won't want to miss this.
That was fun.
Our next guest has been called America's Next Great Cooking Teacher, following in the footsteps of culinary legends like Julia Child and Martha Stewart.
Our James Beard award-winning and New York Times best-selling cookbook Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat was turned into a Netflix binge-worthy series and is giving home cooks everywhere more confidence in the kitchen.
Y'all please welcome Chef SAMIN NOSRAT.
Yeah.
I am so happy to have you. We all are.
Thanks for being here.
And
This has to be the wildest experience for you. I mean, a whirlwind. You're it. You're what everyone's talking about right now.
It's pretty bananas. I never could have imagined that this is what would have happened. You know, and I dream pretty big, but I get recognized everywhere, and it's all love coming at me and
Right.
all goodness. So
well, that's what you give, and you get what you give. You
Yeah.
give love. You can tell that you're passionate about what you do, and so
thank you so much.
so deserving to have the love back for sure. Our whole culinary team,
Yeah.
they were like, they were losing their minds when we finally were able to book you for the show.
Yeah, no, I'm
You
so.
are
They've been
so-
awesome. Also.
So very loved here,
Oh,
and
it's-
all around, very much loved. So
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And what I love is for people like me who love cooking but are not very good at it, as my wife told you. She went to GMA and she met my wife, and my wife is like, my husband's not that good of a chef. But people like me that are trying to get into it and have a passion for it, but you simplify it a little bit. You say tell me, it's salt, fat, acid, heat.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the idea is basically that over the last 20 years, everywhere I've gone, from fancy restaurants to, you know, just like eating in people's homes, the best food really has these 4 elements in common
Right.
wherever you go. So if you can boil it down and understand these 4 things, you can make anything taste good. Yeah.
Talk about your Netflix series, which is amazing, by the way. You get to travel the
It
world.
was a dream.
And yeah, I mean, you went to Italy, Japan, Mexico, then back here to the States.
For me, cooking is really a way to interact with people
Uh-huh.
and to have it like experiences anywhere I go. And so the show was just this, you know, one after another. I got to go places and meet people and taste their food. Food is such an amazing entry into storytelling,
Right.
and it's a way for people to share their lives and their culture and their history with you.
Absolutely.
And the origins of these foods and the real foods that you're seeing it from the ground, and you're not buying it in a supermarket where it could be processed or mixed around a little bit.
Totally. And so, I mean, and also, you know, the show's called Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat. It's the 4 simplest elements in our cooking.
It should
So-
be like if Kiss had a tour, they should call it Salt, Fat, Acid, and Heat. Like that'd be the perfect name. Like, you know.
All right, Samina's going to give us a crash course on the 4 cooking elements. What's first?
So salt always comes first because
And
it's,
this is when you went to Japan.
yes.
Yes.
And I got to learn how, you know, salt was classically made, which is just to boil down seawater is how we got salt originally. And so when I'm cooking, especially cooking in water, you want your water to be seasoned highly. So I like to use a kind called Diamond Crystal kosher salt because it's not too salty.
Right.
And so you can use a lot of it. And so for this pot, we want this water to
Oh
be
wow,
really...
you're still going.
Yeah, I mean...
That's,
And so you have to remember, though, that like most people use Morton's salt at home, and that salt is 3 times saltier than this.
Right.
okay.
So this is a lot
Be
less
careful, yeah.
salty. Yeah.
Okay.
So you do this, you put your green beans in, you cook them, and then I want you guys to taste. So these
Okay.
ones have no salt.
No
And these
salt.
ones are properly seasoned.
Okay.
So I want you to taste and tell me what the difference is.
This one has no salt?
Yeah. I mean, it's a green bean.
Tastes
Yeah.
awful?
It's fine.
That's awful.
Yeah.
This one's salted.
It's just sweeter.
Oh, much
It's
sweeter.
much more
It
tender.
brings out the flavor.
Sweetness.
They're
That's
also
crazy,
more
yeah.
brightly green. They stay more green. They keep more nutrients. So really,
Totally, ma'am.
you always have to season your water.
Absolutely.
Totally. So next is fat. And whereas salt really sort of, it makes flavor much more intense, fat helps to create delicious textures. And depending on which fat you use, you kind of determine the flavor of the cuisine. So for example, in Italy, you know, a very common fat is olive oil.
Yeah.
So if you were to take those green beans and then saute them with some garlic, if you wanted them to taste Italian, you would use an Italian fat, like olive
Right.
oil.
Right.
And this is ghee, which is kind of a clarified butter from India. So if you wanted to make Indian tasting green beans, you would use ghee. If you wanted to make, I don't know, Japanese or Korean tasting green beans, we would use some toasted sesame oil. So the fat of a place really determines the flavor of its food.
Okay.
So we can taste these too. Let's
Wonderful.
have a
And
little bite.
I loved watching you go to the olive tree. Where was that in Italy?
That's called
it was
Liguria.
So fascinating.
Yes, it's so beautiful. It's on the northwestern coast of Italy, and it's where some of my favorite oils come from that taste very light and delicious. And so this is like ghee, which is when you take butter down and you brown it and then you clarify it, and it becomes the taste of Indian food.
Now, where were you where all the cheeses?
Oh, that was not far away. Parmesan cheese, my favorite.
Oh my
favorite.
gosh.
It's the best taste there is in the world.
And I didn't realize how long they take to age.
Yes,
'Cause
anywhere
there was
from
one
24
for 40 years.
40 months.
Or not 40 years, 40 months. Sorry.
I'm 40 years old. That'll be
It's
the
a
oldest
really,
cheese.
really old cheese, y'all. No, 40 months. Sorry, I'm a dingbat.
No, you're not a dingbat. It's exciting. Parmesan makes me cry. So it's like,
I was like, that's my heaven.
yeah, it is.
If heaven exists,
It
when
was-
I die, that's where I want to be.
Parmesan.
All I ever wanted to do
Surrounded by cheese.
was go to where Parmesan was made. So that was really a big dream come true for me.
Absolutely.
It's just such a
and
special
the whole
ingredient.
process that it goes through before you get it on your plate.
Totally,
is
and the
amazing.
story,
the
and-
history, the story.
Yeah, for me, food is just a way to tell stories and
Right.
about the people who make it and the people who share it at the table and all of the cuisines and everything.
Absolutely.
So next comes acid, which acid is really what heightens flavor and gives us contrast and balance. So if you want to turn your green beans into a salad and make it bright and pop, you can dress it with a vinaigrette. So here we just have a simple red wine vinaigrette,
Wonderful.
which I'm not going to pick up because I'm worried I'll spill it everywhere. And then another Another way to introduce some acid, like a more unexpected way, is with some cheese. So there's a lot of hidden sources of acid in our cooking, and one of my favorites is fermented dairy. So that sounds kind of crazy, but just means yogurt, sour cream, cheeses, they all have that tang.
Right.
So acid sounds clinical, like this clinical word, but it just means anything that's bright and tangy.
Yeah, and you were in Mexico.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, and Mexico.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta tell you, table of truth here.
Table of truth.
I ain't the best cook. But watching your show, and now I have your book, I'm like,
There you go.
maybe I can do this.
think
Like, it
you can.
inspired me.
And I
Needs
think
one
you
jump
can just,
start.
you know, I think we're
like,
all.
it very much inspired me.
I love it.
My husband's gonna be very happy, and he's here, so
okay,
I know
good.
he's backstage going, I'm gonna hold you to that.
Yeah, right.
But I think that's the thing is like we can all just get a little bit better at stuff. So the last lesson I wanted to teach you was about heat. Now, I wanted to do a thing with the potatoes because one of my #1 pet peeves is when I go to a breakfast restaurant and I get home fries on the side of my eggs and they are crunchy inside.
Right.
Like crispy on the outside but crunchy and undercooked inside.
Right.
So usually that means that they have not either cooked long enough or they haven't been cooked in water. So what I like to do with potatoes is parboil them. So these are cooked until they're just barely soft, and then you can grill them. You know, so here we just have, so these have been cooked until they're soft. We salt them, we oil them, and then we put them face down on the hot griddle. You can sort of hear the sizzle there.
Oh, yeah.
I want you guys to have one little bite of the creamy.
Can we do this
creamy
again with
potato.
cupcakes next time,
Yes,
maybe?
cupcakes next time. That's my next book.
A lot of green
So
beans.
that's the way you get a crispy potato is like you just have to pay attention.
good.
You just have to pay
Amazing.
attention. So thank you so much.
Of course.
What are we
Easy
doing
with
now?
that green
Am I the
bean,
hostess?
You're gonna come back soon, right? You're gonna hang out with us?
If you ever need a travel buddy,
Yeah,
I'm
Kellie's
your
down.
girl.
Oh,
she
I
loves it.
live out of a suitcase.
Okay.
I would love. Thank
sounds
you, baby.
wonderful.
Samin's sticking around and is making her slow roasted salmon after the break.
Don't go away.
If there were a single recipe to really sum up the lessons of salt, fat, acid, and heat, it would be this buttermilk marinated roast chicken. The buttermilk provides both fat and acid that really tenderizes the meat. And then, of course, heat, using the right amount of heat to get that bird beautifully browned on the outside and nice and moist on the inside. The buttermilk expands your margin for error. If you forget it and overcook it for 5 or 10 minutes, the buttermilk is insurance, and it's the most delicious kind of insurance. If you've never roasted a chicken, this is the perfect place to start.
That was SAMIN NOSRAT and her wildly popular Netflix series Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat.
Oh, what are we making today, love?
We're gonna make some slow roasted salmon.
Wonderful.
That's like
Love that.
dressed with citrus. And so it's gonna be a great lesson about acid and slow cooking is the heat. And you know, the salmon is very rich with fat. And of course, we're gonna add salt.
Awesome.
So first, like always, we'll just season it.
I want to see how much you season
Yeah.
the salt. I want to see how. Is
These-
this the same salt as last time?
It's the
This is
same
like
salt as last time,
Okay.
not super salty.
Okay.
And because I'm me, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other side
All right.
too.
Yeah.
Because you gotta do
Now, I
both
know
sides.
you travel all around the world. Is there a place that you haven't been that you look forward to going to?
Oh, I haven't been to Southeast Asia, and I just love like the foods of
Yeah.
Thailand and Vietnam and Cambodia. So I would really love to go there. I would.
Me
yeah,
too.
I would be
I've
so
never
excited.
been. I'll go with you.
Okay, let's go together. So
sure to
this is
FaceTime
a
me.
step I want you guys to do. This is just citrus zest, and we have
Okay.
blood orange and Meyer lemon in there, but you
right.
can use any citrus, and I just
just
want you to brush it
paint
on.
it like
yeah, there's
Bob
one for you
Ross.
too. You gotta help
thank
too.
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Happy little
Bob
salmon.
Ross it.
Happy
So,
little salmon.
Happy
This
little
is
salmon.
slow roasted because it's gonna go in the oven really, really low, 225,
Okay.
and bake about 40 to 50 minutes for this 2-pound piece. It'll be more
Right.
tender than you've ever seen.
This passion,
Wonderful.
when you talk about this stuff, the passion you have for this, were you always into this? How did you? What was the thing that was like, you know what? I don't want to just be a chef. I want to get into it, man.
Well,
like I really want to.
I've
do
always
it.
loved to eat. I grew up, my family's from Iran, and my mom cooked for us when we were little, Persian food. And it was the way that we connected with our culture culture. So then I just put it on this like bed of the citrus, and that's gonna go into the oven. And then we have this beautifully cooked salmon that we're gonna first put down this bed of, here we have grapefruit and oranges. And these are macerated red onions, which is just a fancy word of saying red onions that have been dressed in acid. And then we're gonna work some fat in with our avocado. What I never ever want you to do, never, is this thing.
Oh, no, why not?
My friend's dad is a hand surgeon. He said it's the #1 reason why people come in for hand surgery.
That's how I do it every time. My kids love avocados. How do you do it? What's the alternative?
Get your hand out of the way and then do it. But
yeah, but then it slips and there you go.
Like that.
Okay.
Don't do it in your hand because things slip. And then I want to put these beautiful little spoonfuls of avocado. I call them rustic spoonfuls. So you want to do some of that? Ben, you got to help too. Don't be lazy here. Always want to make sure to salt every single little layer. And then we have a citrus vinaigrette that we made with the juices from our blood orange and some shallots that are macerated in there. And we're just going to drizzle it so it looks glossy and beautiful.
Nuts are a good fat, right?
Yes,
like,
nuts are a great fat. Like yes. And this, okay, so this is the beautiful salmon.
You want a spatula?
No,
good, because we don't have one. I thought we had one. Oh, we do. There it is.
But do you see how beautiful and glossy it looks? It almost looks like medium rare. It's actually cooked, and the way you know it's cooked is because it's flaking apart so perfectly. So I just like putting beautiful sort of whole chunks there.
Definitely.
It's just shiny and glossy and tender.
It's gorgeous.
It melts in your mouth like butter.
Yeah, because you don't want it to be overcooked.
No.
I
would
like
rather
overcooked
it
salmon.
to be like raw, rare.
Yes, it's
like swimming on the plate than to be too done.
Exactly.
So much
and then
with
another little bit of that. And then this is a special kind of pepper called Aleppo, which is just, it's not too spicy and it's just really beautiful.
Nice.
And then because why not, we'll just put another drizzle of vinaigrette.
Now, your cookbook has beautiful artwork in it.
Yes. I worked with an incredible illustrator, Wendy McNaughton.
Wow.
And what I wanted in the book, I love beautiful food photography, but I really wanted to get across this message that whatever you make, however it looks, is perfect as it is. Because if you can use your palette, if you can use these lessons to get yourself there, you don't have to live up to some, perfect ideal of what my perfectly styled photo looks like. So working with Wendy was wonderful because we got to both have beautiful art and informative illustrations. Absolutely. And it's been a really amazing journey together.
Thank you, Samin, so much. This
Thank
is awesome.
you.
This is really special. Appreciate it.
All right, Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat can be seen on Netflix, and the cookbook is on shelves now.
You can also buy these beautiful prints based on the illustrations in Samin's cookbook everywhere books are sold.
Audience, get this. You're all going home with a copy of Samin's book. And that's not all. You're also taking home a set of 20 art prints based on the book's illustrations. Beautiful.
They're going crazy right now. Coming up after Roger Jones from Empire's in the house. Stay with us.
Our next guest is a rapper, actress, and has been called the breakout star of the Fox hit series Empire. Y'all take a look.
I can promise you it ain't no competition. I know everything they talking about is fiction. Call it how I see it. Y'all ain't ready for the vision. I'm making something out of nothing like magician's check.
Okay. I see how you rocking. I'll go lay these bars down then. All right, cool. Let's do it.
Bring the heat right back. I got them sweating in the wintertime. Charged up, no fat.
What is this? What look like? I just found Blake.
What?
It ain't even like that, so stop looking at me.
Isn't it though? Because there's a guy spitting in the booth right now that I could have sworn I suggested you sign.
Girl, whatever. Look, Cookie liked the idea, and you best believe I took the credit for it.
Oh, so not only did you steal my idea, but you're acting like it was yours.
So much for me knowing my place, right?
I miss us rapping together.
I know.
You and me. Please welcome back to Rhonda Jones. Oh my God.
Hi guys. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm my friend.
What's going on?
How are you?
Welcome back.
Hello? Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
my goodness. Cool outfit.
Love those shoes.
Yeah, those are like those shoes, they're misleading shoes.
Amazon.
No way.
How have you been?
I've been
Since the last time
good.
we saw you.
I've been amazing. Thank you guys for inviting me back.
busy.
Oh,
Of course, I have
Yes,
to.
absolutely. Thank you for coming back.
Thank you for having me.
Are you a fashionista? Because on the show, you change your outfits every, you have to have, your outfits are pretty visual. Do you have a say in your outfits on the show? Or?
Sometimes I do, because we'll mix and match some of my stuff with theirs.
So your actual clothes from like home, you just like, oh, can I wear this shirt?
Mainly, I'm a hat, well, as you can see, I'm a hat connoisseur, so I love hats. So we'll incorporate a lot of my hats into the scenes, and then certain shoes. So we'll mix and match certain things. Yeah.
A hat connoisseur.
Now, are you still single? Are we on the dating
Child, I'm
scene?
single as a dollar bill. I am not dating. It is so hard to date. Right now, I'm good. You know, men are so intimidated by me. I guess because I'm so headstrong.
Well,
I'm a woman who got my
beautiful,
own. Why,
and you have a great personality and a beautiful heart, a great spirit too. So, yeah, you're the prize.
Clearly.
Men are stupid too, most of them anyway, so you don't have to worry about it.
Oh,
I'll qualify myself in that genre.
Okay.
You're a good man.
You just bought a house too, right?
I did. I just got my first house built from the ground up.
Congratulations.
Last year, May.
So you bought the property and built the house. You customized the house for your own. That's so great.
Last year, May, it's my first house. A lot of people who know me know that I come from a family who really didn't own anything. So I'm one of many who are the first to own something. And that's it right there. Yeah, that's it right there.
That's beautiful.
I love those floors.
Beautiful.
Thank you. And the wall, what you see are tile. So it's like, it looks like a bunch of quarters, nickels, and dimes on the wall. I call it the money wall. So when I first got the house and I painted the wall a dark gray, it was supposed to be an accent wall. But every time I came out, I would get gloomy, I would get down. The wall was depressing. Right. And then I looked up a research and it said the color of the room will affect your mood.
Right.
So I said, I want to put tile on my wall. And everybody kept saying, that's too much, Tyronda. That's a bit much. Right. And I was like, no, I want what I want. I got a vision. This is what I want. And my homie, his name is Vernon. He's my contractor. He does a lot of stuff for me inside the house. And he
Homie
said,
is a friend.
Oh, a friend. It's a friend.
So homie. It's not somebody who comes over homes a lot.
And he says, no, I don't know if you should do that tile. It's just a lot. It's too much. Tile on a wall, what if you don't like it? And I said, dude, I know what I want. Yeah. I want what I want. So I keep sage. So I saged the wall, and I put this powerful blessing on the wall that when people come, you know how you throw quarters in a wishing well? Yeah. So when people come, you put your hand on the wall, and whatever it is that you want in life or whatever it is that you want to wish for, I declare it for you. So I call it the money wall, the wishing wall.
I love it, yes. I love that.
More with Tyronda Jones when we come back.
Empire star Tyronda Jones. You recently went to Africa with some friends. How was it?
Goodness.
Did you have
left
fun?
the state. Oh, did I? It was an amazing experience. I went to Africa for the first time. Nicole Ari Parker, who's my castmate, and her husband, Boris Kojo, invited me out. I remember the first time they...
Beautiful.
Yes, that was the highlight of my trip. And it was a very spiritual thing for me. My story, my background, I've never left the city of Chicago. I've never, let alone, left the States. This was my first time going out of the country.
Leaving the country. Wow.
And it was just amazing. But one thing that was really weird for me were the people who were from Africa, and they would walk up to me and say, oh my God, welcome back. And I was like, welcome back? I ain't never been here. and then it was one lady said, oh, we met before. We met. I said, no, you got the wrong one, honey. I've never been here. And she said, no, our spirits met. And I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what you're talking about, lady ma'am. And she said, no, I know you. And she like broke down my name. And at first I thought it was creepy. And I was like, well, you know, our show is overseas. It's aired everywhere. But she had never watched the show. She didn't know who I was. And she just kept saying, our spirits met. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to go home. I don't like this. Right. I don't know what's going on, but I remember watching that sunrise. And one of the actresses, her name is A.J. Johnson, and she got baptized at the beach in Africa.
Wow.
And she's also getting married to an African king. And I was like, maybe I need to get dipped in the water. It happened just like that. And I was like, he got a brother? I need to know what's going on. But the trip was just, it was all around amazing. At first it was a little weird. It was freaking me out at first. But then as the days went on and me going to the village and seeing how some of the people there, they were just, and just the way they embraced everything. It was just so beautiful. The way they embraced us, it was beautiful. And they didn't really have much. We went to an area where it wasn't much.
Right.
But they were so happy with the little that they had, and it reminded me of my childhood. I come from an era of low poverty. And I remember my grandmother, one thing she taught us was to always be grateful for what you have, but she also taught us that at the end of every storm, eventually that rainbow will come to pass, and you get that pot of gold. That's why I got that money wall.
Speaking of the money, do you thinking about what you just said, do you ever sit in your apartment that you built from the ground up and you customize yourself and say to yourself, I did it. Kimberly, how the heck did I do this?
Absolutely. For a long time, I was confined in this box. I was confined in this box where I was afraid to just be. And one day, which was the day I landed the role of Empire, that's when I realized fear does not exist. Fear is just another fictitious thing that have us convicted in our thoughts, stopping us from moving forward towards our destined journey.
Right.
And I remember for the first time hopping out of that box, stepping outside that box and experiencing this amazing, I don't know what this is, but it's amazing. And now it is nothing I won't try. I'm willing to try anything at least once. I'm unstoppable. I'm unstoppable.
Sometimes we get in our own way.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
I was talking about that with my wife, how like just being, if we're concerned about something, it's such a pointless emotion. It doesn't do anything. Being nervous, having that fear doesn't do anything for you.
I don't want to ever look back and say, I wish I should have, could have, would have, or what if? What if I did, what if I just could have? I don't ever want to have to question myself on what if I should have, could have, would have. So I'll just do it. And I always say, I might get a no, I might get a hell no, but whatever. All my no's don't mean no. It just means not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Thank you, Tyrone, so much. We love having you here, man. We always do. Be sure to check out the Empire finale May 8th on Fox.
We'll be right back. We want to thank all of our guests for being here today.
Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. This is Tammy, by the way. Tammy has the best laugh in the audience. There it is, right there. There it is again.
We love it.
Keep going.
We're all yours. Y'all have a blessed day. Laugh.
It's a real laugh. It's really her laugh.
Thank you. Oh, I love you guys. Guests of Pickler and Ben stay at the beautiful and iconic Gaylord Opryland Resort right here in Nashville.